in our Christian faith, we had this one teaching, and it was a graph. And what the graph was that the 0 point was salvation when you accepted Christ. And then it was a line going up. And on this line, that was your life, in your Christian life, that was the sanctification process. You constantly working, striving for perfection. And at the end would have been glorification. I might have the terms mixed up, but it was basically just saying your whole life is just constantly striving for perfection. And it was something we talked about in our latest episode of Dan and Ken on our podcast on Friday, our short episode, where we had a less than stellar parent-teacher conference for the first time with one of our children that is not as very enthusiastic about his schoolwork. He has other things he'd rather do, is distracted by other things at home and things like that, and doesn't put forth a lot of the effort that needs to be done, some of the busy work, and enjoys his friends a little too much at school too, and tends to be a distraction at times. So we're going through this and we're deciding, what are we going to do when we get home? And we ended up kind of, like we explained in the episode, just kind of dealing with him, figuring out where he was, why this was happening, what would be good alternatives to help him stay on focus for a little while at home to get stuff done, how he can earn responsibilities and privileges back and stuff like that. And in the episode, we're comparing that to what we used to do when we were in the faith, which would have been definitely punishment of some sort that wouldn't fit the crime. And the reason for the punishment was that it would, one, shame us. And that wouldn't be the forefront of our minds, but that was actually the truth behind the thing, was that this would shame us. It made us look bad. It made us look like bad parents. And we were Christians in this world. And we'd probably heap guilt and shame on this in our child, saying, you are supposed to be a representative of Christ, and this is how you're putting that out in the world, being this type of individual. You're not striving for your perfection at all times. And it led to a point that Candy made that I think was quite astute. We should be striving for progress, not perfection. To look and constantly grow day to day, move forward in increments and see how we can improve ourselves day to day and not worry about the end result. Just understanding that as we keep progressing day to day in our lives, we will achieve a better state of life instead of constantly looking for this perfect aspect, which will never be met. Because quite frankly, I think perfection would be quite boring in this world and not very enjoyable at all. But progress is something we can enjoy and live for day to day.